I'm going to do the traditional. Are we live?
Well, we can never not have that.
Yeah, we have to now, right? I do it every single week.
Didn't we say we put that on a shirt? Like in April, we were like, "Are we live?"
Yes, that is one of the ones that we need. Are we live? Okay, so it's now mental health tastes like chicken. Are we live? And skank away your feelings.
Ooh, I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, I think that was last week or something that I came up with that. I don't remember.
I like.
But it's stuck in my head.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah.
So I'm doing a quick share to the socials.
We're good. We're just waiting for numbers to go up a little bit, and we'll truly begin.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Here is the notification. We've got some people in here. Hey everybody, how are you doing today? Welcome back. Thanks for always coming back with us. We really appreciate it. You are what keeps us here as well. Rob is working late tonight, but you've got myself and the wonderful Dan this way. I keep pointing backwards. He's right over.
We all do it.
You see him, you know him. And we've also got a wonderful friend of ours, Sammy K, Americana artist, here to join us. And we're just talking PMA.
I'm in.
Yeah. So
how are
you doing today, Sammy? How's your week?
Week has been good. Week has been busy. I woke up on Monday and I was in Rolling Stone for the first time. So Monday was just a fucking blur.
I didn't even know that.
Wow.
We have you this week and I didn't even. Amazing.
I managed to DIY my way into Rolling Stone. So the first couple of days have been busy.
Awesome. Congratulations on selling out. I'm kidding.
Man, I've been working, hanging out with the family. Just another week at home.
Heck yeah.
That's a great way.
Heck yeah. And I hear you've got a record coming out pretty quick here.
Yeah, we did a single that's going to come out. I'm hoping to be shipping them out in about 4 weeks. I'm just waiting for them to come in.
Nice.
Really stoked on it. The first stuff since Civil War, and the first stuff I ever recorded out west, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
Different feeling to it.
Different feeling, different studio, like different vibes. Same heart, different city. Like no different from Asbury Park to Bakersfield or LA.
Very true.
I like that. Same heart, different city. New chapters.
I like that, new chapters. I'm into that too.
Yeah, new chapters. I'm about it. Dan, what's going on? What's going on in your life? How are things?
Things are well. Things are good. Well, I'll get that right. Things are both. No, it's been good. Been pretty productive over here. Work's been less crazy, and we actually have had at least 3 days of this week not storm, compared to last week, which was not just rain, but pure storm for 4 or 5 days straight. So it was really hard to just meet up with friends and just do anything. It was just hard to even take a walk.
I'll take a right now. I haven't seen rain in 5 months, 6 months.
Damn. Well, that's what you get for moving to LA.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm in the desert.
But you lose the rain.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of how it's been here. Last week was really stormy for us, and this week is beautiful. So work's been actually really slammed, because that's what happens in New Mexico. We get random freezes kind of throughout the year.
Yeah.
And the first freeze after summer is, then it gets warm again. People are like, oh no, it's my last opportunity to be on a patio. And so it's just inundated with everybody who's been procrastinating getting out, or just
the first time
whatever. But
the first time I played in New Mexico, I was working for the Skylights, and we loaded in, and it was 90 degrees, and we left, and there were 6 inches of snow on the ground.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
I actually
never witnessed that in my life.
That show.
It was at that brewery. It was like a brewery in not Albuquerque. What's the other big city?
Santa Fe.
Yeah, it was in Santa Fe. Was that like Santa Fe Brewery?
Santa Fe Brewery. Yeah, I missed that one. I saw Skylights last time they played at the Launchpad, I believe. But I remember wanting to make it up to that Santa Fe show and just being like, the weather's going to turn and I don't want to get stuck up there.
That was my first trailer tour, driving. And the other guy, God rest his soul, Jason Lawless, he was the worst driver. We called him Mr. Magoo. And it was my first trailer tour, and it was like, oh my God, we're in a blizzard. And I'm in a trailer with like the guys that created ska and rocksteady and reggae. Like, what the fuck am I gonna do here?
Pure heaven.
Dude, I was supposed to see them at Punk Rock Bowling this year, I think. Or was that last year? Weren't
They didn't do
playing
that.
this
They were good.
year? Yeah, it was the
think it was
end of
this year.
this year. Everything is blurry. Nothing is
It's
real anymore.
understandable.
2020 is a blur.
Yeah.
We're still in March.
I
I
can't
feel it
differentiate between
sometimes.
2019 and 2020 anymore, because I'm like, the last time I did something cool was in 2019, but it doesn't feel that long ago because, you know, it's like the last time I did something super cool.
Yeah.
So
This is the first year in my life that I played one show.
wow.
That's it.
Dang. That's
One show. I played one show in January. That was it.
Well, this can count if you want it to. So
We got two. I'm
Yeah.
in.
Let's hear something, man.
yeah, on that note, let's get her started. What do you got?
Was that night by the shoreline, way down there by the olden time? It's golden eyes sat there shining. Carry on, you just stay bright. Well, I saw ain't the answer, but the question between our lines. I confess, you sat silent. I regret, carry on. 'Cause the only thing I fear being alone. With this feeling, he's feeling, I don't know. So I found the reason, found the light, found the time. Now you're dreaming, start to you. Fireflies, summer nights, fireflies, summer nights, fireflies, summer nights. That summer breeze keeps on coursing on through. That came a chance by the coastline on through. Maybe kiss goodnight. Say the only thing you fear, being alone. And this feeling is feeling that I don't know. So I found the reason, found the light, found the time. About your dreaming, it starts you on those summer nights. There's a spot but I couldn't just think. I didn't sleep at all. I didn't find me when the sun rose. I saw myself covered in the blood. You and me, these fireflies, summer nights, fireflies, summer nights. All right, yeah, buddy.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yes,
Thank
man.
you.
Great voice.
You sounded
Man, I'm
great.
trying to remember how to do this. I haven't really done it in a long time.
That's okay.
Yeah, no, you're doing great. I feel like you're hustling at a pool hall. You're like, yeah, I haven't done
Yeah,
this in a
yeah,
while,
yeah.
and then you just kill it.
So my goal,
Fine.
so my goal for quarantine was to learn something new, and I FaceTime lesson Corey Brennan so I can learn how to.
Oh, nice.
Wanted to learn how to play without a pick, so that was like my goal, and I've spent all quarantine doing that, trying to get the strength and the dexterity to do it, and the knowledge, and now I'm going back to like learning how to play with a pick. I'm like, fuck, what is this? You know?
You'll figure out like a balance that's good for you, I think too. But that's really
Yeah,
awesome. I think.
One of these
I mean, I
days.
tried to tell everybody, pick something that you want to learn and do it through quarantine. I personally didn't do that. But I wish that
We're
I had.
thriving. I figured out how to finger pick. I taught myself how to do photography to an extent. I learned how to do video editing. We started a record label, and we completely boosted. My wife has a vintage clothing store called Revolution Vintage, and we like took that to the next level. Like quarantine has been good to us.
That's
I'd say
awesome.
it's pretty productive, man.
Yeah.
That's
we're fucking-
really good.
Yeah,
We
that
are
doesn't sound
fucking
much
thriving
like
in quarantine,
that's cool.
and it's fucking great.
Nice.
What's going on with you guys? What's good? What's happening?
Yeah, Dan, what did you learn during quarantine?
What did I learn? I learned that just because you buy an $800 iPad Pro for Procreate doesn't mean anything, because you have to actually pick it up to get somewhere with it. And that's where I've been. Yeah.
Yeah, I spent money on clear aligners, and they hurt, and I got scared, and I didn't. But I learned a lot about just slowing myself down, which is good. I might have slowed myself down too much, which is bad. But, you know, I will also find the balance. You know, Sammy, you'll figure out the finger picking versus regular picking, and I'll figure out the right speed.
That's the cool thing about quarantine, I think, is that everybody's learning. It's not physical things, but the balance of like, and really just slowing it down. I'm AA, and where's my notes? Last couple of weeks, man. The meetings that I've been going to are talking about like content versus character, right?
Yeah.
And like figuring like who you are in these weird times. And it's been super cool. Like it's kind of forced me even more to take a step back and breathe. Like I'm from the East Coast. We walk fast. That's how we are. And now I'm in California, where I'm in like an Okie. I'm in Bakersfield. Like it's agriculture. It's country music. People walk slow here.
Yeah.
And I'm learning how to do that. I think really the best thing I learned in quarantine is taking a couple extra minutes to walk somewhere.
That's good, and it's a good thing to learn. I learned kind of the hard way that how it's super good to learn, but it's also super easy to forget. So hold on to that. That was kind of, I say all the time, you know, when I was actually incarcerated, I learned a lot that people are learning through quarantine. You know, just slowing down, having nothing else, nothing but yourself to get you through a day, kind of shit.
We were talking earlier too about the hurry up and wait thing, right? Like musicians, tour rats, like we know how to sit in a van for 12 hours a day to get in a club late, walk on stage, play a show, and then get back in the van to drive another 8 hours to the next gig, like, because it's a double overnight, you know.
Yeah.
That
It's
hurry up and wait.
It's not a natural rhythm for people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just
it's
it
kind of
takes
like
effort
forced
and it's
made.
exhausting.
Yeah. Yeah, that hurry up and wait, that's been my whole life. And now it's like, all right, I'm actually like, I'm just waiting, you know?
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I had a question all lined up and I just lost it. Shooting
My
it over
bad.
to you, Dan, to get me out of this hole.
You're good. You're good. Sammy, you were talking about online meetings with AA. Can you talk about your sobriety a bit and the process you've taken with managing through it?
Yeah. The first 8 months of sobriety, I'm 6 months into recovery, and I got a little over 2 years of sober time. You know, when I fall off meetings and my mental health falls off, it's super fucking easy for me to just go right down the gutter. So I sobered up in 2014. I was on a tour, and it wasn't really great mental health wise, and I was a fucking party animal, so that wasn't helping. So my first 2 years of sobriety, like, I didn't believe in God or AA. And I slipped a couple times, and then once got back on and started on meetings, I found a couple of musician guys that, like, oh, there's a whole fucking crew of hardcore kids that go to shows at the Asbury Lanes that go to this Wednesday meeting. Like, I'm gonna go to that Wednesday meeting, and we'll all go to the Lanes. Once I found it that there really were people like me, I started really like going to meetings on tour, and then right now I'm doing 5 days voluntary because it's just the meetings, the groups. I'm within 2 musician groups on AA. Both groups are awesome, and like I choose, like I want to go. Like it's not like you know, sometimes like you're in a rhythm and it's like, do I really want to go this week? Like, but right now, like, sobriety is number one, and I'm starting to tear through the steps again, really for the first time, and actually push what the book says in my life, to try and just grow and get a little better. You know, we can always be better than we are.
Yeah, 100%. Every single time, there's always something you can learn and a way that you can grow. That actually kind of brings up you saying, you know, realizing that there are people like you is so huge. I think that that's what made me actually start to enjoy my sobriety, is when I started meeting people who were into what I was into, but also sober or this, and just having that kind of that connection on something so very specific. Dan and I'm sure some of our viewers are probably also part of our mental health group, so you've seen this, but Dan and I have also been talking a lot about stigma lately. And I think that that's a huge problem, especially for alcoholism, because it's almost, there's more of a stigma on not drinking than there is with drinking.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Like majorly. And so I think that's what keeps a lot of people from like taking that leap, because they don't, I mean, for me, I was drinking because it made me feel like I had things to do. I was being social, this, that, the other, you know, that's kind of really how it started. And then I was like, I can't stop drinking because I just won't have a life anymore. I'll be alone and yada, yada. And I'll just feel so lonely. And then all of a sudden I meet people like me who are sober. I'm like, these are the best friends I've had in my entire life, you know?
My wife is sober, and it's just the fucking funnest. Like, we go out, we still go to the bar, we still get Shirley Temples. Like, we go, like, our bartender here is sober, so he makes us ridiculous, like, fruit drink shots, and there's a tiki bar in town that they make us all AA. Like, I have a normal,
See, I'm about that too. I get judged so hard because I would go to bars and just be like, give me a shot of Red Bull or a sweet and sour, or make me just anything good or gross or whatever. Like, because I still love being, you know, at a show, enjoying it like everybody else. Yeah. But just, you know, random fruity shit, I'm so into it. And it's just the same thing.
Yeah, we have a wall, like, in our apartment. The wall, as you walk out, has like pictures of me, my wife, and our girls. And I had a buddy of mine paint for our anniversary for my wife. Shirley Temple that says "You're so cool," just to fucking like, you know, remind us like as we leave that.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's okay to fucking. It's my favorite thing when I'm on stage. I'm like, yo, can somebody grab me a Shirley Temple? And they look at me like, I'm tattooed. I'm fucking really tattooed. And they look at me like, are you fucking joking? I'm like, nah, man. Like 2 years, 2.5 years. Like that's how we roll.
Awesome. Do you feel like if there was less stigma in the world about sobriety or about sort of any kind of self-care, really, do you think that you would have been more successful in other attempts of sobriety, or do you think it's something that you maybe would have attempted earlier than you did?
I probably would have attempted it earlier. I probably really should have sobered up around 21. I sobered up at 24. I definitely would have had a bunch more opportunities in life, but we can't live in regret. I'm really, really stoked at where I'm at now, and I'm stoked it happened when it happened, and it happened at the right time when it was supposed to happen. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah, I kind of came up with that question yesterday. I was speaking to somebody who was also sober, and he made a comment to me, and it was in a situation where I was at work, so we weren't able to get specific on anything, but he did make a comment to me that I never actually hit rock bottom. I didn't lose everything I had. I didn't, you know, whatever. And I kind of walked away feeling kind of, I was like, you know, well, fuck you. You know, you don't know what my rock bottom is. You don't know what anybody's rock bottom is. And I have always kind of had that feeling like, you know, people aren't going to get sober until they hit their rock bottom. But I kind of now I'm feeling like maybe if there wasn't so much stigma around all this stuff, that maybe people wouldn't have to hit rock bottom before they tried to get better.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about my wife here a little bit. She didn't hit rock bottom. She just was like over that life.
Yeah.
You know, and she gave it up, and she's been sober for a little over a year now.
Yeah.
She just was able to put it down with, you know what, this is not the life I want. You know, I want to quit kicking and screaming like, no, like, don't you take my whiskey from me, please. You know?
Yeah, but, that was me the first time. And then the last time I did it about 3 years ago was just like, I just can't anymore. Just can't do it. It's not worth the amplification of my depression and anxiety all the time. I was like, however many times I feel like I can wake up in jail and be fine, like that's not really worth just hating myself all of the time.
I have a handful of personality disorders, and those dancing with sobriety is fucking gnarly. That like if one is going, the second one goes, the third one goes, and it's like straight thinking about the bottle. And it's like without the program and without my support system, like without the med regimen I'm on, I would not be fucking sober at all. You know, so you gotta fight.
Support is the number one thing, whether that's, and support means a lot of different things, whether it's from you know, you figuring out how you need to be medicated, or if you need to be medicated, or whether it's your community or this, that, the other. There's all kinds of different versions of support, and all of it's so important.
Yeah, when I sobered up, well, you first.
Go ahead.
Sorry, Dan.
No, you're good. You're good, man.
I've been talking more than you.
No, it's really good to see that you found that stable group early on. It takes many to disregard the stigma for years upon years, even their closest friends and family, to find that light to say, I'm going to do this for me. I'm going to step away from everyone. They're still in my life and they mean well, but they don't grasp it. These people do. I have a new family that are not blood related, and that is the essence of brothership. That's the essence of PMA. And Rob is right. Yeah. You do scream PMA, man. You really got it, and you hold tight to it. And it's really great to show within your expressions and your voice that like it's there. If I just bumped into you on the street, to know that like you know you grasp hold of it. It really is good.
I work with adults with special needs, and we're doing Zoom classes now, and I do a rock and roll history class today. We're talking about ACD, and then I do a positive thinking and gratitude group with them. Because that's life, man. If you can't find the silver lining in any situation, like there's a problem, like straight up. The silver lining, even when it's like, I'm running out of Dr. Pepper. I got Doritos in the fridge. Like, we're good. Like, that's it. That's all. That's it. You know, just stupid things. Like, if you can't find that silver lining in any situation, even the worst, and push to that half full versus half empty, like you gotta figure it out. You know, it's super crucial to life, especially as a touring musician, because you know, there's always gonna be that Tulsa on a Monday show that's gonna fucking suck, you know?
Yeah.
You gotta find them, you know, it's Tulsa on a Monday.
In general, Mondays anywhere.
But it's Tulsa on a Monday, and I have a cool little crew in Tulsa that I love that I don't get to see often, and when I get to see them, it's just, even if it's a Monday, it's the best hang.
That's tight.
There's always that silver in any situation. I got a flat tire driving to LA to record 2 weeks ago, and I realized my big book was in the car, and I had an extra hour to sit and read about situations that in the book that made me realize, like, I'm not that bad off right now. I'm sitting on the 5 in the middle of the grapevine, but like, it's okay, right? I helped my wife, and our dear Cass was on the way, and that was it, you know?
I've got a flat tire on the way to LA story, and it kind of puts together this whole entire story of, I think every flat tire ends up having an actual butterfly effect somehow. Every single one of them. I mean, everything does, but flat tires specifically, to me, have always been sort of a positive light. Back in the 40s, my grandfather had come back from World War II, was on his way from Connecticut to LA with the GI Bill to go to UCLA. And he got a flat tire outside of Albuquerque, and it's in the 40s though. So it's not like you can just call AAA and get your tire fixed. So
you got to walk or hitch into town.
Situation. Yeah, so it was going to take him a couple weeks to even get his car fixed to go to LA, and he was going to miss registration. So he registered at the University of New Mexico just for the semester and was going to go to LA, but he met my grandmother and never left. And like, I wouldn't exist if it weren't for a flat tire on the way to LA. You know,
that is awesome.
Isn't that crazy? So were you saying that right there? That just popped. I hadn't thought about that story in a while. I'm just like, damn, like flat tire on the way to LA, man.
That's like the coolest story I've heard in a hot minute.
Yeah. So just little things.
So awesome.
Or some little thing will happen, and even if you don't find that silver lining in that moment, months, years down the line, like there's something will be like, wow, like that, I didn't think that meant anything, you know? And then it just somehow it does.
I found myself in Bakersfield. Like, I went from one armpit of America to the other, Asbury, New Jersey to Bakersfield, and at first I was really like,
everything has 2 armpits, so
everything has 2 armpits, right?
New shirt.
And
thanks.
Yeah.
I'm good at these.
Once I realized it was the same heart, different city, it was just like, I love it. It's the coolest place in the country, and I wouldn't want to be anywhere else, you know?
That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm glad you're loving that chapter that you've entered yourself into.
Yeah, it's the coolest thing.
On that note of happiness and new places, we're about halfway through. Do you got another song for us? Because I love that.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna get as much as, now that you're like Rolling Stone verified, we're gonna get as much out of you as we can.
I like that. Rolling Stone verified.
Yeah, it's good. Take it. That's an awesome credential.
16 months down the road, I ain't got nothing worth leaving for soon. Try the cobbler for all I know. I heard them peaches are the sweetest in the world. Leave your keys beside your down. Just let them all out. 'Cause I was waiting to you, dreaming about Dying wage for Zeno. Everyone. What's a curveball in the land of speed? What's a curveball in the land of speed? You know I quit doing amphetamines, holding out for your forgiveness, or just a pack of smoke. Cause I was waiting, young, dreaming about holding you, lately. Your dying way for Zeno. Little things in my mind. Those little things we're done. Is that when we were young, dreaming about holding you, lately. Dying wish for Zeno. Everyone. That was when we were young, dreaming about your dying wish for Zeno. Everyone. Yeah, right.
I nearly caught your pick, and it felt like I was alive again.
I'm a thrower. I like to throw picks.
Yeah, almost caught it. Would have been a good souvenir. Fun little game for our viewers that I just thought up as we kind of move forward with this. We all know PMA stands for Positive Mental Attitude, but those of you who are viewing, in the comments, tell us what PMA means, but wrong answers only. But keep it civil, just for fun, and we'll pick some favorites and just get us some laughs or fun stuff, whatever going on this Wednesday.
I'm into it.
Yeah.
I like.
So we'll see what we come up with. We'll see.
Really is.
We've got a good number of people today, and that's nice to see. That makes me happy. So on that note, it's also Suicide Prevention and Awareness Month. What are the ways that you've been reminded to keep up? This is for both of you guys. How do you keep up the PMA when you're at your lowest? Like when you feel like you can't get it back?
My wife usually yells at me.
Nice. Women are good for that.
Yeah, she's good. She's good for that. She tends to put me right in my place when I start to slip. Instantly. She'll be like, "That's not you." Like, no, come on.
That is good.
Yeah, she's a good egg. I'm really grateful.
That's awesome. I'm happy you've got that with you, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm super stoked. How about you?
Oh man, I mean, yeah, it's typically usually somebody else. Usually somebody pulls me out of it. You're saying that, I'm like, I've never done it on my own. It might be my therapist who in the last 4 years has realized that she is not afraid to tell me that I'm being an idiot. So there's that.
I got one of those too. He's great.
Or it's my dog. My dog is kind of the answer most of the time. But just sometimes I'll just, if I'm feeling really, really anxious, what I do, if I'm feeling anxious and like I'm about to just freaking crack, Spike McGuire, by the way, says pre-order merch always is what PMA stands for.
Do you guys know Spike?
It's not entirely wrong. I'll just drive out of town. I'll just get in my car and I'll drive until I see something pretty, and then I'll stop.
Everybody's got their spot, man.
Yeah.
I've always lived up until now like pretty close to the beach, because 10 o'clock, burn a couple cigarettes at the shoreline. Perfect.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm a mountains person, but I can see.
I'm learning about rivers, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm learning about rivers. I'm not there yet, but I'm okay with it.
Rivers are neat. Dan, what's your special?
Yeah, how about you, Dan?
What's your special sauce?
Honestly, just taking a nice walk down by the not a van down by the river, but a nice walk near the river near our house. Whether it's calling up family or friends, always clears my mind to be able to be on the outside, be near water. We always, I don't think we realize the healing that water does, not just as an intake that we need to do more often, but being near it and around it. Don't even have to be in it. Just being surrounded by it has such a remedy that's hard to explain, but I know we've all been there, and it has healing powers that really do justice.
Yeah. When I see the water, I think about every ripple. I think about maybe, especially in the ocean or a lake, like how far away was that wave affected? You know, like how many different things have happened to this wave that now it looks like this, you know, or now it's moving this way. And it's just kind of it's one of those things, and it's infinite and it never ends. And it's kind of a good metaphor for just how it'll never end, but it'll always be okay.
As a beach guy, it's the moon over like Asbury Park in particular, that glow. It's millions of miles away, but it's perfect, and you see it, and you see every wave pass through it, and that's like my water spot.
Yeah, that's a good one. You
guys, by the way,
hate Jersey Licks.
Spike, you guys gotta have Spike on here. Spike is a ball of positivity. He's a Reno guy, and he is just the best.
All right, Spike, you heard it here first. You owe us. You owe us a Wednesday.
Yeah, Spike's
play music already. And Dunia says play making animals. I dig that. She also says that water resets your breath and heartbeat, and I fully believe that and appreciate it.
I'm a firm believer in pizza, man. All right. that would be mine, I think.
Yeah, I didn't think of one for myself. So this is just all on you guys. I came up with a question, so
there's got to be a good one with Petunia from Pete and Pete. Petunia, got to be a good one. Do you know Petunia from Pete and Pete? It's the tattoo on the mailman on Iggy Pop's arm.
Oh yeah.
Petunia.
Like, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
There's got to be a good one with Petunia.
There has to be.
I like this, what Jenny was posting. When you were younger, did you believe that you could control the wind or the moon gave you powers or something like that? Whoever told us to stop believing that?
I still believe it. I'm a firm believer in that.
I stopped believing it, and then I started believing in it again, just in the service industry. People definitely get crazy when the moon is full.
Yeah.
Sometimes in good ways, you know?
I still, when that moon, you know, you get that good harvest moon, that super low, I will get in the car and drive and try and catch that moon. Any chance it's happening, I'll go.
Yeah, that's kind of me too. And every time it's coming up over our mountains, like it just looks so huge. Any full moon looks massive, just coming right up over the mountains. And our mountains are to the east, so it's right there. And anytime I have my alarm set on my phone, like I have to witness this. And the smoke out here has been making it just fiery red lately, which is insane.
Are you guys on fire out there too?
We're on fire, not quite as bad as California is. We have a lot of California smoke, and we've got some of our own smoke from northern Mexico fires. But
yeah,
it's definitely happening.
it's pretty. It's pretty gnarly out here. Just the smoke and just watching everything on fire. We haven't hit red yet, but I feel like we're gonna probably in the next week or two. Bakersfield is where all the pollution from LA settles, right? You move to Bakersfield, you get asthma instantly. But the smoke has been settling here for about 3 weeks. And there's been just, a couple days a week, there's pretty haze. That's what I was saying. Like, I'm give me rain, like clear the air for like maybe 1 day of like just beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if you wanna drive west and come out here, it's only partially smoky. So
yeah, right.
That. Drive east. I'm sorry. I'm tired today, guys. I don't know my directions anymore.
I'll be East Coast in a week.
Where are you at?
I'm in suburbs of Chicago.
Oh, cool. Fuck yeah. South side?
Southern, definitely like suburbs. Not even like outskirts city, but like Elgin and Schaumburg are like the well-known ones I'm near.
Totally, yeah. I'm a big fan of Chicago. One of my favorite places to go. Favorite places to hide out. I get there, so I try to get there as much as possible.
Yeah.
Down on Pilsen.
That is something I like about Chicago. It is a nice place to hide.
Yeah, it's the best.
You can. Every time I'm there, I've been able to get whatever I needed out of it.
That's like the good thing about the people in Chicago. They're not LA and they're not New York, right?
Yeah.
They're not like cooler than you, and they're not fucking like New York assholes. That
like only Wrigleyville.
What's that?
It's only Wrigleyville. It's only Wrigleyville that are
The G-Man's a good hang. Yeah. And Metro.
I've met Frank Turner at G-Man. I met Off With Their Heads at G-Man. I've met Brendan Kelly. Yeah, the list goes on and on. Pipe Setter. Yeah.
I'm not even like we're all sober here. Like that's my bar when we go to Chicago. Like get to G-Man right away. Even if we're not playing there, like we're going to G-Man.
Yeah.
Well, then you got to catch a show at Metro.
Yeah, every time I've been there, I've had like a lot of good G-Man shows because like Frank did one next door, so I got to take and see Frank. I got to see Hot Water next door. I got to see Rob Mold next door. Like every time I'm at G-Man, there's something really cool next door.
That's awesome.
They're owned by the same people, so you can sneak in and go catch whatever show.
Yeah.
It's always a hang. It's always the best.
I had a friend whose friend was living above the G-Man at one point, and we were up there and we could just hear everything from both places. And it was kind of neat. I was like, I can hear a show in my sweatpants. And that was so profound and wonderful, and I enjoyed it. Yeah. And now we're in quarantine and I do watch shows. I have to watch shows in my sweatpants. That's kind of like the only way. And it's not as cool as I thought it was a few years ago.
Are you guys doing heavy live streams? I haven't really dove in. It's like kind of looking at something that I don't want.
Yeah, I mean, we've done like PRSL has sponsored a couple. We've done a couple, and then I was watching all of them at the beginning, and I would put my phone in the shower and watch it, just take my phone everywhere with me and just watch these shows all day long. And I haven't in a while. It's been kind of hard to stare at a screen for me, but
sponsored in Bakersfield, my wife's shop. So we've been able to go and watch live music every Friday, socially distanced.
Nice.
Right? They're playing on the big theater, the Fox Theater here. And there's like 5 camera crew and then 10 people there. And it's this huge old 2,000 seater theater. And it's been really cool just to go and see music. Even if it's music we don't like, just to see music.
Yeah.
It's been super awesome.
That's what matters most.
Yeah, every Friday.
I was supposed to go to
Dan, were you saying?
I was supposed to go to a drive-in show tomorrow. There was a drive-in concert for one of my favorite bands. Who's kind of ska called Tropidelic. I saw them at summer camp in Southern Illinois last year, and it got canceled about an hour before this live set. So it was like, that's a band called Tropidelic.
Interesting.
I'm across the board with music.
Oh, me too. Me
so
too.
I love my reggae scene. And I also love going like post-hardcore and metalcore, like going complete opposites.
My hands are just, I got toots on my hands. and Roy Wilson, you know. I have most of my tattoos are Scott tattoos. Like no joke. Yeah. I got Jimmy Cliff tattoo on my ribs, like waist to armpit. Like,
oh, that's crazy.
Yeah,
awesome.
I got the part of the come on my belly.
2 armpits.
2 armpits, man.
It's gonna be a shirt now, or a sticker. I don't know if that would even work.
Maybe sticker. I don't know if that one's shirt worthy. I mean, I think it's shirt worthy, but I don't think we'll sell very many of them. So maybe a sticker.
Yeah. Sticker. 2 armpits.
Guys, raise your hand if you'd be willing to wear a shirt that says "I've got 2 armpits. How about you?" Or something.
I'm into it. I wear it.
You're into it. I'd be into it. Dan, are you into it?
I'm in.
All right.
My buddy Chris is
watching.
watching.
Reviewers are into it so far. So
my buddy Chris is watching. He's gonna text me a t-shirt design in 20 minutes of it. Anytime I say something stupid on the internet, it's on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
That's when you gotta do like a button. You gotta do like a button pack of all of them.
Yeah.
There we go.
So like
that's good.
5 or 6 buttons.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah, we could. Okay, official PRSL random sayings button pack. You guys didn't ask for it, but we're gonna provide it.
What we're getting.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I know. Roger's not gonna believe us when we tell him that this is what we have to do next. Yeah. Sammy, you just have to harass him until he makes it happen.
I'm in.
Sweet. We are at about.
What are you guys listening to?
Do you have another song in you before we close out?
Yeah, we could try and do another song.
I mean, only if you got it. I know I'm.
Really quick, I love this. But there's a hug between the armpits. I love that comment.
Oh.
There we go. Now we have it.
There's a hug between these armpits. Daniel, thank you so much for that.
Now that is a button.
That is a button. That's a
that
button
is totally
and a back
Tell me about your life, for you numb yourself with pills and powders. Forget about the week, she said. It's not that bad. While you gently drift away, thinking about the things she said in the place you called home, in the place he called home. Sweet Cecilia, I said it was all in. Never know what the future brings for you, baby. Say your prayers and count your scars. In the end, the only way to live your life is really, just let it go. Just let it go. Just let go. So you come home in an empty house. No one's home. Crumble low, see it so low, see it there at the foot of your bed. Just what he said, my darling. Sorry, dear, just can't live this life no more. Had enough said it once, said it twice, and you'll never know what the future brings. Say your prayers and count your stars. In the end, the only way to live your life is really live it. Just let it go. Just let it go. Let it go. Yeah, just let it go. Let it go. Now the streets and the stars are the way down the boulevard, where the city meets the sea. It's where you might find me. Empty bottle, sitting lonesome as my soul. Just let it go. Just let it go. Just let it go. All right.
Yeah.
I forgot I was in the wrong key and I tried to hit that note. That note wasn't happening.
It sounded great. It sounded great. You're killing it, and I'm obsessed with you. I think, yeah, you're definitely. I'm super glad you're getting some of the credibility you deserve. I'm glad your career is starting to take off, and that's awesome.
It's funny.
So
the career is at the same time it's slowing down. It's like I'm trying to be a dad, you know.
Yeah.
It's a weird. Everything happens when it's not supposed to happen, right?
Exactly. You'll figure it out.
This is very true.
You'll figure it out. We've always either got nothing or too much, and I don't think there's a balance. I don't think there's a balance. Mm-hmm. There's not an in the middle, and if everything's going exactly how it should be, you know, you're in for a shitstorm probably.
Wrong.
Yeah. All right. Well, as we're wrapping it up, we're gonna go around the circle. Give us a musician or an artist or an author you've been reading, just something that's kept you going this week. What you're into right now. Sammy, you look like you're ready, so I'll go with you. And while
I'm ready.
Think about it.
Jeremy White from Richmond, Virginia, has got this record called "Alone in a Room." It's fucking awesome. Matthew Ryan's got a new single called "Rivers" that I've been listening to a lot. What else? I've been listening to Toots and Maytals from the Roots. Rest in peace, Toots. That's my favorite reggae record ever. That's maybe my favorite record.
That was the hit.
It's been a lot of hurts, man. Him, Justin Townsend, and John Prine in a matter of 2.5 months. It's like three of the
Dave
greatest.
Greenfield was one of the hardest for me too. The Stranglers, that one. That one shredded my heart.
I feel like they're the really cool things. Oh, I've been listening to Darren Bradbury a lot. He's this guy from New Jersey that lives in Nashville that writes the most. He's writing John Prine songs about how he's watching TV with his cats, and his cats telling him ridiculous stuff. Those are my 5 I think I've been listening to.
Nice. Dan, how about you?
Yeah.
What are you spinning?
So I've gotten I call it an acoustic coffee afternoons. So I got a playlist that's just pure acoustic or renditions. Just a way to I always actually play it before PMA sessions. Just calms the nerves, calms anxiety and stuff. Lately I've been loving, which I hope more know, and if they don't, please check it out, because although he has passed, he still deserves all the support. But I've been listening to Steve Soto's solo record a lot lately, and Forever is just such a beautiful ballad to his loved ones and the band and the adolescents and everybody else he's worked with. And it's such a great ode, and it's such a great melody, and it's just like a solid reminder that I love throwing on.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's awesome. I need to get back into making playlists for myself. I used to do that all the time. I think that's something about having an old school iPod that definitely lended itself to creating a playlist. And now just having Spotify at my fingertips, or a list of all my records sitting right there. It's
the convenience.
Full records, or just or listen to whatever Spotify gives me for a playlist that day. I need to.
I'm about Spotify playlists are the best. I find out so much amazing music from it.
Yeah, they're so good, but I kind of miss curating a playlist in a way too. You know what I mean? But
I just did a quiet one on my Spotify page. All acoustic quiet folk. You know,
beautiful.
It's the end of autumn.
Awesome.
It's the start of autumn. It's got to be sad and quiet folk. You know. What are you listening to,
Yeah,
Mackenzie?
definitely. You need playlists for every mood because sometimes Spotify doesn't know how to nail your mood. That's what I've learned that one
No.
a couple of times. But yeah, so that said, I'm always kind of scatterbrained. So this week has been, I remember those bands. So I'm listening to a lot of Smoker Fire, Banner Pilot, Enemy U,
Oh
and
my God, Smoker the fucking best.
So good.
Sorry.
So good. But yeah,
I
that's
get stoked on that.
Yeah, so that's been my week of just like, oh yeah, I remember these bands, and Dillinger 4 as well has been throwing itself in.
D4.
Yes.
D4 all the time.
Smoker Fire is just the man.
So good.
Everything he does is so good.
They were on the first comp disc I bought that really threw me into punk rock, like back in like 2006. So like there were some punk bands I was listening to, but I found this comp disc that just gave me all the bands, and I was like, this is the best shit I've ever heard, and I never turned back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so that is, we're coming up on an hour. I also want to throw out something that you should read fairly often. Every week we are less than 50 days away from the election. Sorry to get not getting political, just saying you should exercise your right to vote if you can.
Absolutely.
If you can't, that's fine. ACL, I know everything's really, really weird right now. The ACLU just did a thing. If you go to aclu.org/voter, you put in your state, it'll give you, and this will update with any changes. It'll give you information on how to request your ballot, voting locations, stuff like that, just how your state is needing you to do things right now and how long you have to do them. So just kind of pop in there, just make sure you're up to date on whatever information you may need for how to make sure that you can vote and to kind of create a voting plan with your buddies. Super fun. Back in normal times, my friends and I would all get together and get dressed up and go vote and make a day of it. You don't have to do that, but just, pay attention, make sure
awesome.
Get it done. That said, I guess Rob was unable to join us for the end of it, but that's fine. Rob, we love and miss you because I know you'll see this at some point. Sammy K says, hey. And everyone else, we love you too. Yeah. Weekly challenge, always go tell somebody, one of your platonic friends, that you love them. Let them know you're there. And we will see y'all next week.
See you guys soon.
Thanks so much for joining, man.
Bye.
Thank you for having me. This was really fun. Anytime you need somebody, I'm here. Shoot me a text. I might just come as a co-host with you guys. I'm in. This is my shit.
You can jump in whenever. You can literally jump in whenever you want. We discovered I think we can have like 8 people at a time. So
you have the positivity we crave, man. Thank you again.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing this. This is really cool.
I think we're still live, by the way.